Yeah. It's alright
She
for
was
me
like
to ask
at
her.
the trial and like supporting us and stuff.
You still keep in contact with her?
Yeah, I write her every now and then. She came up to see me. She was supposed to come see me here recently, but like something happened. She wouldn't able to get up here.
Did you draw my skull yet?
Oh, yeah.
I told you I'm gonna spell your name wrong on everything we do.
He has been harping on that.
Ever since my first letter to him, I've been harping on that.
Do you have any hobbies that like when you're not working?
Well, when
Is
I
there-
was at home, I used to like draw a lot. Really getting into here, I really like to draw. Really.
Just cause you don't have a place to sit and do it comfortably,
Maybe.
like you were talking about writing the letters. And Damien said you should pursue it. Said you were like incredibly good, better than the art instructor and all that at the school. I mean, he was really raving it
A
out.
long time ago now. I did win a bunch of stuff at school though.
Oh yeah.
Art contest?
Yeah. I don't know, it's, right now, sometimes the way I feel is, I'll start on something like, don't even finish it.
What kind of things do you draw?
Well, I used to like draw stuff like metallic stuff, man. Here lately I've been drawing like when I do draw, it's like draw people
You draw the other inmates and do portraits?
sometimes. But really I get tired drawing them because they all wear the same thing.
That's true.
Were you ever interested in music at all? Did you ever play in a band, or ever, did you guys go to concerts very often or anything like
Oh,
that?
we never had any money to go to concerts. Didn't have any money for instruments.
Just listen to
A
her.
friend of ours, he had a guitar. I used to try to learn to play it. Learned a little bit, like the beginning of where am I rolling all the time.
Let me ask you this, Bert kind of touched on this earlier, but when you're finally out of this and after all this crap is over and everything, do you think you would you think about writing a book or trying to, in any kind of way,
Yeah, I've tried
tell
to,
the story to people?
I get a lot of good ideas for the book when I'm like laying down, but when I like sit up and try to write it, I like think too fast to write it all down. When I'm trying to write it down, my hand will start hurting, and like when I try to think back so I can write it down right, it just comes out all wrong. Or maybe I like typewriter or something.
What kind of stuff do you write?
I was thinking about writing a book about all this.
About your story?
Yeah.
So have you started on that, or do you have like a little collection of notes?
Yeah, but they were really not that good.
I don't know, you'd probably be surprised how good it probably is.
Yeah. I think you'd have a bestseller in your hands with the interest now in this sort of thing. Enough to where the book would probably finance whatever other area, music store or whatever it is you'd be interested in. You'd probably be really surprised.
It's a big market for interesting stories, and this one classifies as an interesting story. I know.
Absolutely.
But do you know how big a deal this movie is out there? Do you have any idea how big a deal it is?
I mean,
I know I get a subscription to Details magazine. It was in there.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was when they had Billy Corgan on the front of it, I think.
Mhm.
That was actually a pretty good article, I thought. Obviously, you see, like the tone of almost everything that, at least the reviews of that movie anyway, are really up and positive, and certainly imply doubt about your guilt and so forth.
You know Siskel and Ebert?
Yeah, two
Those guys?
books.
They both gave it big thumbs
Yeah,
up.
I read a newspaper article.
It was in Spin magazine. There was
I
something
had
in
a
Spin.
subscription to Spin, but it run out. And when I was getting it, they like wouldn't let me have like every other issue. They like the prison board like find something wrong with it. It's like, no, you can't have this. You got to send it home.
Why do you think they're so strict about the stuff you get in the mail?
Really don't know.
I mean, are they strict on everybody here? Or is it just, do they single you out for your high profile or notoriety, or is it just the ADC is just real strict about what they let inmates? Because I noticed a lot of stuff we send to Damien, no problem at all. He gets it. There's stuff he got that we would have never even thought would have been allowed. I've sent you things, something as simple as an HBO guide, just listing Paradise Lost, that had to be sent back to me. I'm thinking, Jesus,
I don't know. Maybe it's a mail fee. 'Cause I know this one guy, his girlfriend was like sending him pictures of her like went in her bikini and stuff, and like they wouldn't let him have them. But then he like wrote agreements and stuff. The mail lady had to give them to her. Like she lets Playboy magazines go through. But then she wouldn't let a guy a picture of his own wife.
I figure. I guess they just have individual evaluation of everything
I
that
think
comes
it's just
through.
the person who's working in the mailroom that day.
So they open all the mail and look at it
Yeah.
and make sure it's all full.
So how do you get your mail when you get a letter from someone? Is it opened and?
Yeah, they staple it shut or tape it back shut.
So you get the envelope and everything. It's just been opened. And can you receive a package, like if someone were to send you, like a packet book or something, they open that too? And,
Yeah. Books and stuff have to be sent from the bookstore or publisher.
right.
What do you do when you receive so many books or whatever that there's no more room in your footlocker or whatever?
Yeah, I try to read a book, just pass it on.
Yeah, okay. So you don't really have so many possessions that it's ever a big problem for you.
My locker's packed full, I got a bunch of junk. It's basically just junk.
What kind of stuff do you have in there?
Junk.
Stuff
Just
people
told you,
send
yeah.
you,
Yeah.
or stuff you
Yeah.
brought with you? Or?
I got a laundry bag full of just a bunch of old mail and stuff. And I got like 4 photo albums full of pictures and then a stack of pictures. And I got like a little box full of like personal hygiene items, deodorant, stuff like that. You gotta keep all that in your box. And I got 2 laundry bags, one for like dirty laundry, one for clean laundry. And you can't leave that stuff laying around. People like steal it.
So you've got a lock on there, and you have like a combination lock.
Key lock.
Let me ask you this, just out of personal curiosity, and again, I hope it doesn't make you uncomfortable or it's inappropriate, let me know, but in the movie, your mom spoke really not very much, or a couple of times, they interviewed her and so forth. But is your dad still living? I mean, your dad was never interviewed, there was never
Yeah.
any mention of your dad.
He lives in Sheridan, Arkansas, right over here.
Do you see him much?
And I've seen him twice since all this happened. Came once to see him while I was in jail, and once in here.
Is he supportive of it?
Yeah.
Do you
I
have
call
a
him
good
all the
relationship
time.
with him and so forth?
I had to talk to him on the phone night before last.
How has he been affected by all this? A lot or not much? Or?
He's telling me he knows a whole lot of stuff about that Mark Byers guy. He heard a lot about him.
All right.
Yeah. He said something about it.
Off the record.
What did he say?
His brother-in-law, he told me this the other night. His brother-in-law, what did he say? My dad's brother-in-law. He comes up here.
Your dad's brother?
Yeah, he told my dad and he saw me up here.
Oh, that's a red light.
Is he with the Department of Corrections, or
Really, I don't know. I
he
don't
just works
know
with
the
some
guy.
kind of program that assists inmates or something? It was torn off, where it's a print, a reproduction or a print of a Polaroid. It's not an actual Polaroid. It was made from an original Polaroid, and it looked like the bottom of it had been torn off, as if somebody had written something on the bottom. But it was just the two of you kind of standing there, and I think Matt's hair is real long. He was wearing some kind of like thing around his neck that looked like a voodoo doll or something. I forget what kind of T-shirt he had. It looked like it was taken probably, I got to think about, I don't know, within the last year. And behind you is a big kind of a airbrush backdrop. I'm assuming during personal visits.
Yeah, it must have been
They take
here
pictures.
recently.
Yeah. It would have been in the last, probably the last year or so. Is that
A voodoo doll.
well, some kind of weird skeleton thing or something that he had. He was wearing it around his neck.
Around his neck. Sure it wasn't printed on the T-shirt.
I don't think so. Maybe it was. I'll go back and look at it again. I'll have a copy
I
of that
know
made.
the only thing he's
Send it
ever
to
wore
you.
up here around his neck was a nirvana necklace.
No, wasn't that. Maybe it was on the shirt. I'll go back and look at it a little bit.
He's
more
wearing
closely.
No, he wore this one shirt up here that had metallic on it. And like this skeleton guy with the top hat on, holding like
That's what it
like
was.
baton
Oh.
things.
So that
On
was
the
on
shirt.
that was on the shirt?
Yeah.
Oh, it almost looks like he's wearing it as a necklace thing, kind of like your ID tag sort of thing. I don't, well, I didn't look at it that
Yeah,
close.
they just started making us wear these things. Looking through
You have to wear them all the time?
Yeah, don't get caught without them. Disciplinary action.
Uh-oh. Back to the hose squad.
Hmm.
Yeah, so if you want those pictures copied, just send them. I'll do it. Because I can do all kinds of color copies, and if you want more than one picture, you can do that. And then you can give them whoever you want.
Cool.
So we can do that.
And they let you have photos here, right? Those
Yeah.
can be mailed in, no problem. Because I've got some of her in a bikini though.
Cool. Well, we can't get them. I guess we can't send them.
Send the one onesie and Playboy, then you can get that.
All right, yeah, I'll give you that issue.
All those back issues of Playboy that you're in?
Just me after they talk to him, they tell me what he said. I'm like, okay.
So there's a lot of conflicting stories between the two.
He'll just tell you whatever you want to hear. If you want to hear that Elvis is alive, I guess he'll tell you.
So when we interview him, we should probably not lead him so much as just let him talk and just see what he says.
Yeah.
Is he pretty, to your knowledge, is he pretty nervous about talking to us? Is he pretty, didn't you say that he walked out originally when y'all went in to sign at the warden's
That's
office?
because when they first called us in the sign thing, they didn't say it was from y'all. They just said we got a thing from the media.
Mm.
They didn't have a sign. And I started saying, nah. And I go, wait a minute. Which media? They go, we don't know. Oh, who are the people? What are they? I said, let me see the paper. Y'all got a paper that asked for it? Oh, yeah. And I looked at it and it had y'all's name. I said, oh, yeah, this one.
This media's okay.
Would you feel uncomfortable if we tried to contact Paul Ford and just talk to him, ask him?
What the hell are you
Just,
doing?
well, no, I mean, we just want to know things that, you know, that we probably wouldn't have access to, things that you apparently don't even have access to about the current status, how's it
Yeah.
going, and we'd also like to ask him about some of those Michael Carson things, you know, stuff that didn't come out in the movie so much. He's a pretty nice guy, pretty easy to talk with.
Yeah, he's pretty nice.
You kind of look like him now. You know,
What?
little asses with his tail. Except you're better looking.
Let me take my glasses off.
Say, well, I'm taking them off, that's
You
it.
think he's really gonna go to Disneyland?
I don't even want to go there, but that was like a long time ago.
See,
He took me though.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, we live in Disneyland, so.
Yeah, we do. Real life Disney. Do you want to do the official
Should we do the
1 minute
one-minute
interview? Did
interview?
you ever see Damien's 1 minute interview that we did?
yeah, the thing I sent you.
Oh, you sent him?
Yeah.
Because we were thinking of
Couple
doing
them, I
one
think.
for you too, like just so people could have. So we were going to ask you all the
Yeah, I already
official-
told him about that. We're just gonna
Oh,
do it
okay.
on tape, and then we'll make up our flyer, or she will make up our flyer.
Would you
Tape
rather-
stuff.